and welcome back to my channel. So today I thought I would address something that's pretty prominent and just explain to you guys like what it is. If you can't tell, which I mean it's kind of hard not to be able to tell, this side of my face doesn't exactly perform, it doesn't work, it is paralyzed. Well, partially paralyzed. This eye doesn't always close, it doesn't open, it twitches, and then I can't produce a full smile. So what that is Bell's palsy. I was diagnosed in December of 2018. We were finishing midterms for our senior year, and I was so ready to go on break, not expecting my face to not work the next day. So I guess I'll give a backstory of how the onset happened and everything. So the day before it happened, I was sitting in the choir room, which was basically my second home, and I was trying to eat my lunch, and I noticed it wasn't staying in my mouth. It just kind of fell out. I felt really stupid. So I texted my mom, and she can't see me, she doesn't know what's going on. She's just like, okay, yeah, you're gonna be fine. Like most parents who are just positive, be reassuring, hey, you're gonna be fine. Well, then I asked my choir teacher, because she was in there, and she was like, Faith, you're gonna be perfectly fine, it's okay. So I go throughout the day, I can't feel any of this, and it's just numb. Well, the next morning, I wake up at 6 in the morning. I'm not paying attention, I put my hair in a bun, I walk into the bathroom, I'm starting to brush my teeth, haven't looked in the mirror yet. I start to brush my teeth, and I can't spit out my toothpaste. So I look in the mirror, and what's weird is this entire side of my face was drooping. I'll put in a picture over here somewhere, or over here, I don't know. But this entire side of my face was drooping, but this was the side that wasn't working. I didn't notice this wasn't working until later. So my mom looks at me, she's getting ready for work, I'm getting ready for school. I'm like, hey mom, what's wrong? And she immediately starts panicking. Her first reaction is, oh my God, you've had a stroke. Me, still waking up at 6 a.m. is like, oh, cute. And she'll be. Anyway, so go to the doctor, we go to the ER, we can't find the keys. We're looking through the entire house, we can't find the car keys. Well, luckily we live right next to my aunt who brought us to the ER at 6 in the morning. Anyway, we get there, my mom's freaking out, my aunt's freaking out, I'm just kind of like, hey. So my mom thinks if it's not a stroke, it could also be Bell's palsy, which is one of her childhood friends had. And it was permanent. Well, so we go through all the things with the doctor, get an MRI, talk to the doctor. My MRI is clear, it's Bell's palsy, which is a temporary facial paralysis of one side of the face. And so for some reason we were saying it was this side that was paralyzed, I guess because it was drooping. But then I noticed I couldn't smile. And I'm just like sitting there, this wasn't even moving this much. I'm lucky now. So then I have my book bag with me. I really don't know why. So I look at my mom, I'm like, hey, can you hand me my book bag? Lo and behold, there are the car keys. So that was one thing that we stressed over for nothing. Well, so after the ER, we go home. Well, we go to Cracker Barrel because we're starving. It's 11 now. And I just feel extremely self-conscious eating around other people. I couldn't chew, I couldn't fit food into my mouth. I had to cut sausage extremely small. It was just difficult. And I couldn't drink out of a straw either, or a cup, so I just struggled with that too for a hot minute. Well, so we put me on the steroids and everything, the antibiotics, to try to kill whatever, if there's a virus that has hit the nerve and deprived the nerve of oxygen, which is when it just kind of goes to sleep or whatever you want to call it. So at that point, I still have midterms to take. So I have to go back to school when half my face doesn't work. And I don't want to say my school is big with bullies, but because it's not as bad as like other high schools, but it's still hard to just go into like something where you don't look normal. So I go to school, everyone's lying to me. They're like, hey, it looks fine. And I'm like, yeah, sure. So from then on, I go into Christmas break and I am officially homebound. Which homebound is when you meet a teacher somewhere and you get your work, you do your work with them. Like we met at the library. So no human interaction. I'm just sitting at home doing homework. Kind of depressing. I was depressed, yeah. You know, you go from being with people every day and then you're home by yourself, no one to talk to, you can't really go anywhere. I didn't want to go anywhere anyway because my face didn't work. I looked weird. I looked unnatural, which I still am asymmetric, but it's better than it was, so I'm grateful for that. But so when I came back to school starting, reminder, like this was my senior year of high school, my big year. I'm graduating, it's senior prom. I'm a big choir kid. Choir was my life during high school. If you asked me what I was doing, I was practicing, learning new audition pieces, learning new ensemble pieces. I was that choir kid. Well, I had to drop out of my senior district honor choir. I had to drop out of my assessments, and I could not do my senior concert. It was a big thing for me not being able to experience my last concert. I didn't even go because I think I was sick, but it would have just been really hard to sit there and not be on stage with like everyone I've been with for the past 4 years. So that happened, and I was meeting with an ENT regularly to kind of track my progress, and then I was also meeting an eye doctor because my eye didn't close. So my eye was drying out, and I wear glasses, but I don't wear contacts. I hate contacts. Well, I had to wear a contact all the time, and just this eye, because it would dry out, and we didn't want to damage my cornea, which was not fun learning how to put in contacts or take out contacts in general. Well, so we get through all that. I start speech pathology, which they used it was almost like a TENS unit, and they shocked my face in several places trying to make the nerve jump. And we didn't see progress for several months. I think I started seeing progress around month 3 or 4. And then it came to time, it was time for prom. And I told myself, I was like, I'm gonna be back in school. I'm gonna go to my senior prom. And right before, my mom was probably my biggest supporter. Of course, like my really good friends like Shelby, Macy, Stormy, and then my aunt and my uncle were really big too. I didn't want to go to prom anymore. I didn't want to show my face. So they pushed me, and I'm glad they did. because I had fun. It was a great time. I got to experience my senior prom with some of my best friends. And right now I'm in month 6, I think. I graduated high school. I'm still on the road to recovery. I'm, like I said, 6 months in. Obviously, like I've said, I was worse. But I think the thing that's kept me going are my friends. They pulled me out of a really bad place with this. It's hard not to get down when your face doesn't work and you're not so socially accepted anymore. Really, you're just kind of in the outcast. Like, people ask you straight up, they're like, what's wrong with you? Or, why doesn't your face work? What's wrong with your face? And it's hard to answer. So yeah. But the biggest thing is, for anyone else who watches this and you have Bell's palsy, you have to stay positive. Like, you have to really push yourself to your limits. You have to try and stay positive. You gotta exercise every day. Like, that's one of the things I learned the biggest. You just have to work. And you can't stay in that mindset of, I'm never gonna get better. You have to focus on the small improvements. There's my cute. You have to focus on what makes you happy. I will say that one good thing that Bell's palsy brought me was a major change. My whole life I was going into music education. That's all I wanted to do. I wanted to be a choir teacher. Well, when I got the Bells, I couldn't do any of my auditions, so that I just couldn't do it. I didn't know what I was going to do in college. I could have gone in undecided, but I really didn't want to do that. Well, one day during speech pathology, I sat there and it just kind of hit me. I was like, I want to do this. I want to help other people like me, or who go through other things, like, and just be a guiding light to some people. Because my speech if I can get my words out. I can't speak anymore. My speech pathologist really helped me through everything. Like, she was really positive, and even for the days that I was just not wanting to be there, she was positive and just helped me get everything right. At one point we did have to have the conversation, like, hey, you may not recover, I'm not seeing anything, but it made me work harder. So it's like, you have to stay positive, and I had to force myself to stay positive. I got really lucky. I had really good friends and a really supportive family through this, who they pushed me, they helped me be positive. So, yeah, that's my Bell's palsy story. It's not a fun one. I don't think any Bell's palsy stories are fun ones, but I just wanted to get that out. If anyone's like, hey, like, what's wrong with your face? Which is a question I get a lot. But thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day.